Hi, I'm Molly and I'm here with...
Gareth Chambers from Your Trust, and I'm Community Training Lead.
Do you see any violence or abuse towards women and girls in your job role in particular?
Yeah, so I do see a lot of lads who are quite misogynistic and stuff, who have seen the dads beat the mums up, that sort of stuff.
When you're working with them, like you say that you see things, what sort of things do you see? Is it like the patterns of behaviour? Is it...
Yeah, it's more like the fact that they don't believe that they have to clean or cook or do anything really in that side, and they do make comments such as the woman will do that, or they probably, to be fair, a lot of them do just live with the mums, so the mum probably does everything for them and they've only ever seen that. But I know some of them who've witnessed the dads abusing the mums, so they've probably been brought up with that. I think it's normal really.
How do you challenge that? So when that's happening, are you the person who has to intervene, or do you refer into other services?
So, well, I've had a bit of a laddie life myself. I went to an all-boys school. I was a plumber for 10 years, so I've witnessed sort of all the comments you could probably witness, and all the sayings and all the names and that side of things. So the good thing about the teenagers is generally there's a girl there. There was a teenager, and I'll say to that girl, so will you be doing all cleaning when you're older, or will you be doing all cooking? And they'll be like, no chance, so the lads can sort of see that it's not going to be like that when they get older. Or I'll just kind of ask them. I won't really delve too deep into if they've witnessed any domestic violence, but if it's around the sort of cooking, cleaning side of things, or just the general sexist comments that they make, I'll kind of ask them why, what does that mean firstly, because half the time they say stuff they don't even know what it means anyway, and I'll just kind of have a chat with them. I don't really say, don't say that, tell them off, but I just kind of say, why do you think that, or where do you think that's come from? And generally it's just because they've only ever done that and seen that in their lives, so that's what I think is normal, know.
When you're questioning the behaviour, seeing like where that comes from, what sort of a reaction do you get from them? Do they tend to think like, oh, actually maybe that's not the right mentality to have, or do they tend to try and defend it? Or...
To be fair, you can see that it's something that they have learned, because when they generally do it when there's other lads there. So if there's a group of lads, they'll make a sexist comment towards a woman to show off, but you can see that they've heard that from somewhere. They're that little and that young that they must have heard it come out of somebody else's mouth. So they'll say it to show off. They might say it, then look at the mates, looking for a bit of acknowledgement after they've said it, and then if I can get them on their own, away from that sort of bravado, I'd probably have a chat with them about it and just say, what do you think? And then they're more engaging to sort of learn. So I think the education side would be good, but on a maybe a smaller group level, or taking them on a one-to-one journey somewhere to learn about this sort of stuff, because I don't think you really learn about it, do you? I'm not sure if they learn about it in school. You hear about it and get told it, but if they're role models such as the brothers, the dads, the people who they look up to are sexist and make these comments, that's all they'll know, won't they? And they'll think it's right. But it's just questioning it really, asking them about what they've just said, asking them. I used to say to this lad, do you cook? Have you ever cooked for your mum? And he'd be like, no, and I'd say, just think about how many meals she's cooked for you in your life, and how many you've cooked for her. And it's just you're just kind of a bit of a robot. You go home, you expect your mum to make you tea. But when I said that to him, he actually, a few weeks after, had cooked a meal for his mum for the first ever time. It was only like a pasta dish. But I'd said to him, why don't you have a go at cooking this for your mum? And anyway, his mum had said he cooked me tea for me, which was amazing, because this lad he was not going to cook for anybody, but he did. And if he's cooked ever since, I don't know. But the fact that he's obviously taken that on board, hasn't he? So depending on what kind of person it is, it definitely depends what environment they're in to learn this stuff. But yeah, to have a role model saying to you, do you think that you could do something nice for that person, or do you think it's all right for him to say that abuse about that girl or whatever? They start to think then. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's always good when there's another girl there. So in Cardinal Langley, I don't know if I can say school, I do a thing with these lads, and they have to write down something that a woman, do they think it's right, wrong, or they're not sure, like misogynistically towards another woman. And it might be like liking somebody's posts, and they've got to stick on board if it's okay, not okay, or they're not sure. And then what I'll do then is I'll get two girls to come and decide, to say what they've put on board, to see so it really gets a discussion going. Do you know what I mean?
That's
yeah,
really
it's quite
interesting.
good. Yeah, it's a good little task that we do with them, but again, it's all bravado. The lads are just sticking it, thinking it's funny. They might write something, stick it somewhere, think it's funny, but if then I said to them on a one-to-one, come back in here, and then I said, let's do this properly together, I'm pretty sure they'd move all the stuff to the other side, because they don't have that. So I'm not sure, yeah. I think they do know, and they do understand about, abuse and stuff, but it's how to get them to fight for it and see it as a, how can they teach their mates. I've never seen a young lad say to one of his mates, don't say that about a girl, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which would be good,
Yeah.
interesting, but probably scared to death that, oh yeah.
Yeah, I think the fear is a big thing, to have the confidence to stand up to your friends, and if your friends have all got that mentality, or at least you think they do, because that's what they say when they're around each other, to be the one person that's different and to say don't do that. You have the fear of either they're going to cut you out, or in some cases might flip it on you. Like they might make you the weird one, the different one, the problem.
Like I said, I was a plumber on building sites for over 10 years, and generally it was the older men who made the comments about the women, and sort of got everything done for them at home. Whereas now, growing up, I think it gets sort of less and less. I'm not sure. Obviously, addiction and alcohol plays a big part in domestic violence, but I think if the young lads are learning off this older generation, when you hear it, it's about sort of teaching them. I guess it's about, like I said, early education, isn't it, about it all and stuff. Yeah. I don't really see. I see the odd remark from lads about women showing off, but it's not. I think girls, especially in school, they'll handle themselves these days, and they won't take that from them. So you don't see it as much in the younger ends in schools and stuff. And like I said, I've never experienced or met somebody who's domestically violent towards a woman, but I've heard the comments and the showing off and the bravado and the phrasing, but yeah, I think it's just early intervention, isn't it? Do you think?
Yeah, early intervention and education, like you said earlier.
I'm here to hashtag change the story and make the pledge, and I promise to never commit, excuse or remain silent about male violence against women.
Thank you.
Brilliant.
Thank you very much.